of True Capitalist Radio. I'm the badass of business and the prognosticator of prognosticators. Give CIA levels of assessments, predicting the future, the future, the future. It's time for True Capitalist Radio. Turn that shit up. It's time for True Capitalist Radio. Turn that shit up. Sparking synapses in the internet underground. Everyone knows who I am. The world is my chessboard and war is the tool of the game. Don't hate me, I'm just a messenger. Say what you want about me, but I speak the truth. The truth, the truth. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. It's time for True Capitalist Radio. Turn that shit up. It's time for True Capitalist Radio. Turn that shit up. Now get ready. True Capitalist Radio starts now. Right now. Fucking punks. Fucking punks. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Fucking punks.
What's going on, folks? And thank you for tuning in with me to another edition of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost, and I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. This is episode number 749. Episode 749 for all the folks that are keeping track of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. It is May 19th, 2025. And I want to thank you all for tuning in with me. I know it's been some time, folks, but I'll talk about why I haven't done a True Capitalist Radio in some time. But before we do, I'd like to ask everybody to please spread this show across the internets and throughout the world. And let everybody let them all know that the True Capitalist Radio broadcast is in effect and in the house. And once again, we are live right now. Once again, May 19, 2025. All right, episode 749 of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. Anyway, I want to extend my sincerest apologies to everybody out there who is expecting a True Capitalist Radio show. I'll just be completely honest with you. I have been jaded to even conduct anything political given the political climate in America today. Both sides of the political spectrum have lost the idea of what America is. They both don't give a shit about the Constitution. America as we know it is being destroyed. We're being gutted. We're being looked at as a complete fucking laughingstock on the international community. It is horrible what is happening. And it's kind of hard for me to do these shows because Trump, I mean, let's be honest, he's a little bit of a vindictive son of a bitch. And, of course, if you happen to be too loud or you get a little spotlight of something that may be deterring what he's trying to achieve as an agenda here, you tend to be visited by the authorities nowadays. So that is yet another factor on why I'm not really enthused about doing the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. But I know that many people in the True Capitalist Radio chat room and many people in the inner circle have been wanting to hear a True Capitalist Radio broadcast, so we are here because of them. So cheers to the folks out there in the True Capitalist Radio chat room. and, of course, the inner circle. And USSR Stalin doing rumble rants. I'm not acknowledging that, you piece of crap. And there's old man Frank saying, yeah, what are you doing a true communist radio? Shut up. And there's Devious Dave. And then we got Duke Orville over there in the Rumble doing the 10 gifted subs once again. And then follow that up by Chris Johnson 2022 with another 10 gifted Rumble subs over there at Rumble. Cheers to the folks in the Rumble chat and every chat. All right, we're broadcasting everywhere. We're on YouTube. We're on X right now, Kick, you name it. All right, we're all over the place. So anyway, with that being said, I guess we'll go ahead and talk about the financial portion of the broadcast. And I'm telling you, folks, I have been saying this. I am not a buyer in this market. All right, I am not a buyer in this market at all. And because there's no direction, nobody knows what's happening. It's basically a pump and dump market. And what's happening here is whenever Trump comes out with some supposed good news about tariff talks or China or whatever, all of a sudden you've got this major rush upward, and then everybody just sells off. All right? I'm just simply stating, and wait a minute, Lo-Fi Capitalist Beach, hold on, what the hell did you say? I'm sorry, folks, here we go again. And if you'd like to donate to the show, buymeacoffee.com/GhostPolitics. Wi-Fi Capitalist Beach to read your Yahoo articles. Would you ever grape another man's ass? So here we go. You see, this is another reason why I haven't been doing a True Capitalist radio show, because many of the American people that should be conducting themselves in a capacity of a government that's ran for the people and by the people don't give a shit. All right?
They're eating the cats.
We're witnessing the destruction. Can I get an unban from Rumble? No, you can't, belligerent Brian, all right? At least not right now. I'll do it after the show. You're a piece of trash, and I don't like you. I'll do it after the show. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the markets here. Now, what people are buying into in this market, I have no idea. I have no idea. I mean, we're at a point of complete ignorance and complete euphoria, all wrapped up into one, that there is no sense that's going on in this market. Now, for you folks that don't know, the Moody's International Credit Rating Agency, at the end of Friday's trading day, decided to downgrade the credit rating of the United States of America. Now, that is the first time that has happened in business history for America. And right now, that should be a sign that investors may be just trying to, maybe equities and things like that may not be applicable for growth, given the fact that our credit rating has been downgraded. Now, of course, as you can see from the charts, the initial reaction in the morning is what you would typically see after such a devastating piece of news, that the renowned credit rater Moody's downgraded our credit rating the first time in American business history. Of course, people sold off in the morning. People sold off in the morning, but as you can see, they went right back into buying. What are they buying into? I have no fucking idea. I have no idea what they're buying into. I don't get it. I mean, what optimism are you people focusing on? What optimism are you people buying into? I don't get it. I don't get it. And hold on, Gino X 1987, welcome back, Alex Jones. I knew Trump would bail you out. First of all, I'm not Alex Jones. Don't compare me to that piece of crap. And Jeffrey Gostein, will you service my schmeckle? So, here we go. Here we go. And, of course, we've got old man Frank in the Rumble Rants talking a bunch of crap. But anyway, what is everybody buying into in this market? All right, and I'll explain it here in a minute. Dow Jones Industrial, even though it started the trading day off in the negative, it is now closing in the positive. It is up 0.32%, closing out the Dow at 42,792.07 points for the Dow Jones Industrial. We got the S&P 500 up modestly. It is up 0.09%. S&P 500 is closing out at 5,963.60 points for the S&P 500. And the NASDAQ was one that was fledgling. I mean, it is up barely 0.02%, closing out the NASDAQ at 19,215.46 points for the NASDAQ composite. Now, gold right now, I don't know how much higher gold can go. as I've been stating, people should really entertain silver because during the last crash, which I think we're heading into, as I stated, I predicted this in 2024. I said that if Trump was going to be elected, we're going to see a Great Depression. And if you want my opinion, I think we're headed into that right now, and I'll describe why in just a few minutes. But gold right now is holding steady at about 3,200. It is down modestly today, 0.09%. Gold current price is at $3,230.70 per troy ounce of gold. And oil is starting to creep up conveniently enough. Very interesting considering that we said on the last show that OPEC, or at least Saudi Arabia, was going to ramp up production on oil. And I said they're going to do that as a favor to Trump. And also they're claiming, I'm talking to Saudi Arabians, that the reason that they're up in production is to punish the OPEC countries that are not following the rules, supposedly. But I think they're doing it for Trump. And we all know why, if you take a look at what happened last week in the Middle East with Trump's trip, which we'll talk about later on in the broadcast. All right, so that's where we're at right now. And as I stated, what are people buying into? Take a look at this. The dollar is taking a little bit of a beating right after Moody's downgraded the credit rating of the United States of America. And the reason Moody's said it is because of debt concerns. Because this big, beautiful bill, which is ridiculous. I mean, when the hell would you ever see or hear the GOP touting something big and beautiful relating to a fucking bill? All right, this is Democrat shit, as I stated. But as you can see, the dollar is slumping. Now, let me explain what this means. The dollar right now, I think every American that's living in America should be accumulating dollars. Because I think that at some point, it's going to come down to there's not going to be enough dollars circulating in America. Now, the reason it's slumping against the other countries' currencies. And the reason the other countries' currencies are going up, just as I stated in 2024, that Trump was not going to make America great again. He's going to make other countries great again because this tariff policy nonsense doesn't make any sense. There's no clear logic to it. There's no rationale to it. It doesn't make fucking sense. And I'm going to explain how I believe the tariff thing is nothing more than to fleece America, all right? And hold on, we got Red Eyes Black Dragon with a Rumble Red. Ghost is Tim McGraw. Great, thanks a lot, dude. But once again, our credit rating, which used to be gold, is now falling. And as a result of that credit rating downgrade by Moody's, take a look at this. Buyers of U.S. bonds are getting nervous. So what does that mean? That means that less people are willing to buy our debt, or less entities are not willing to buy our debt. So what do we have to do to encourage people to buy the debt? We have to raise the interest. All right, the bond interest, treasury interest are going up to entice buyers. And typically when that happens, that usually happens to failing countries. All right. I mean, at some point, if we continue raising these rates on treasury bonds in order to get buyers of our debt, we're going to be the equivalent of what we used to call junk bond status to countries that overspent and nobody wants to buy their debt anymore. So they raise it to some unbelievable amount of interest to get whatever suckers that are out there in the international investment community. So right now, not looking good for the U.S. Treasury. Now, why does that matter? Well, that matters because you've got Trump out here talking about getting a big, beautiful bill, and they're talking about raising the debt ceiling, or at least asking for $4 to $5 trillion in added debt. Okay? Now, I don't understand how we were supposed to balance the budget with Doge. I don't understand how we were supposed to be fiscally conservative when Trump was touting all this bullshit. I told you all that this was not possible. It was not possible to go out here and tout whatever Trump was touting in 2024 and not raise the debt to unimaginable proportions. And here's Trump and the Republicans on top of that are out there for this big, beautiful bill, supposedly, and they're going to add $4 trillion to the debt. And here's a recording, by the way, of Senator Johnson, who is been recorded saying that's exactly what's going to happen. All right? Put the PC shot on. Take a look at this. All right, unearthed audio. GOP Senator Johnson says Trump will increase deficit by $4 trillion with the big, beautiful bill, and that Medicaid will be cut. Now, what are you going to cut? Medicaid, absolutely. Let's go ahead and play this. Just letting y'all know.
If you really look at it, look at the numbers, and I look at the numbers, we will actually increase the deficit over the next 10 years, going from right now $37 trillion in debt. CBO says we'll be at 59. My guess is we'd probably increase that by about $4 trillion with the big New Deal, or the big beautiful bill. That puts us at $62 to $63 trillion. Again, you have to be honest. And by the way, I know Buck at the end of the show, or I think he might have asked me this last time, well, what are you going to cut? It's impossible to say, Medicaid, absolutely have to go after that. But what you need is a process. If you really look at it,
right there, okay? They're admitting that they're going to have to do cuts where many of the folks that were hardcore MAGA, like the seniors and folks with disabilities, are going to take a massive cut, which I don't think they anticipated. Now, how is the White House selling this? Well, they came out with that stupid blonde bitch who's faker than a goddamn toupee on a bald guy. This press secretary, I even forgot her name. This is how they're selling it. Play it. Here it is.
This bill will be the single most pro-small business, pro-family, and pro-American worker legislation ever. This bill will give Americans the largest tax cuts in our nation's history. When Republicans pass the bill, Americans will be keeping more of their hard-earned money and taking home much bigger paychecks. This bill...
Now, that's how they're selling it. But when they were questioned, I'm talking the people that are writing this big, beautiful bill, when they asked what exactly is in this bill? And somebody had asked, is any of the campaign promises that Trump made in this bill, like, for instance, is there no tax on tips? Is there no tax? I mean, just listen to this. I mean, put the PC shot. I mean, give me a break. Listen.
I'm calling for no tax on tips. No.
Does this tax bill continue the payroll tax on people's tips?
Yes, it does.
Yes,
No
it does.
tax on overtime.
Yes, it does.
Overtime. The president said your overtime will be tax-free. Does this bill continue the payroll tax on overtime?
It does not exempt overtime from the payroll tax.
And no tax on Social Security benefits for our great seniors.
The president said he's going to remove taxes on Social Security. Does this bill remove taxes on Social Security benefits?
It does not change Social Security.
So this is a tax decrease for the wealthiest Americans in our country.
And that's the unfortunate part about it. Okay, what we are witnessing right now under Trump, in my opinion, is a form of socialism that I had thought and I had proposed back in 2024, given the rhetoric that Trump was touting. All right, because this is straight socialism. I mean, if you don't believe me, take a look at this. All right, let's go back to business here, okay? Walmart warned that they're going to have to raise prices because of Trump's tariffs. Now, what did Trump come out here and say? Take a look at this. You got to eat the tariffs like they eat the cats. You got to eat the tariffs, Trump tells Walmart, and warns not to blame them for the price increases. Isn't this technically socialism or communism or some kind of centralized collective ideology in which the leader is dictating what the hell private enterprise should or should not be doing? I mean, give me a fucking break with this crap. How can anybody who is a Republican be okay with this type of trash? This is socialist crap. All right, this is socialist garbage. And this is not what America is about. And it's not even true socialism. All right? I mean, at least during COVID, and anybody who says that socialism works, all you have to do is go to COVID and all the money that was given out to these morons out here. And they were told to stay home. They were told that you're a patriot if you're a couch potato. You people were given tens of thousands of dollars out of nowhere. And what did you do with it? You pissed it all away. And not only did you piss it all away, I read that 60 or 70% of you idiots are so far in debt you don't know what the fuck you're going to do with yourselves. So that is the culmination of socialism. Now, there's a flip side of that socialism where you give all the winners of the economy, the economy's booty, if you will, to the folks that are a part of these billionaire class, which all seem to coalesce behind Trump. All right, and look, to prove to you that this is socialism, all right, you've got conservatives out here. Take a look at this. Trump is a socialist. Conservative writer goes there in a scathing column that asks, any guess who the serfs are going to be? And it's going to be you and me, folks, okay? It's going to be you and me. It's going to be you and me that are going to be the serfs, okay? And let me just give you an example. A socialist country in Europe, Sweden. Sweden is one of the most socialist countries out there. And what's happening in Sweden right now? What's happening in Sweden? Take a look at this. A socialist paradise overflowing with billionaires. Huh? That is what is trying to be set up here in this country. And look, I'm not saying the Democrats don't want to do the same damn thing. That's why I'm telling each and every one of you, America is finished. All right? America as you know it is completely finished. All right? I mean, we are headed into a new era of America that is going to get rid of the Constitution, that's not going to have opportunities for everybody, where AI is going to eliminate most of the jobs for folks that are unskilled. I mean, we're headed into something that I don't think you people recognized you were voted in, but unfortunately, many of you people have the IQ of a carrot. And this is why many of you got duped when I tried to tell you throughout all of 2024 what the fuck was going to happen. I tried to tell you in 2024 that all this shit was going to happen. But no, you thought, yeah, we're going to make America great again. Yeah. Oh, yeah? Okay. I talked about here just shortly how Walmart is blaming Trump for the tariff increases, the price increases.
They're eating the cat.
Trump is warning them not to blame them and eat the fucking tariffs, just like eat the cat over here. And hey, Froppy, I didn't give Biden cancer, asshole. All right, Froppy? Anyway, if it ain't Walmart, take a look at this. Target worker exposes massive tariff price hike for popular items. Kind of scared. Take a look at this. All right, this is a employee in Target showing the new price over the old price. Okay, this is the cost of tariffs that I tried to say was going to happen, and many of you didn't believe so. And you continue to believe the rhetoric of this administration that it's not a tax on the people. It's not, the people aren't going to. Well, there you go. All right, they're going to have to burden the cost. And look, money is not necessarily circulating as it used to be. We've got interest rates that are pretty decently high right now. And as I've always stated, when the Federal Reserve raises rates, that's their way of recalling all those outstanding printed dollars that they printed over the years. So that's why this is not looking good. This is not looking good. All right, so be prepared to pay for shit, all right, and pay more for shit. Doesn't matter what it is. Even if it's made in America, you're going to pay a lot of money because guess what? These American jerk-offs, with all due respect, look, I'm an employer, all right, and I employ people that are not necessarily the most skilled people in the world, and yet these people want $25 an hour to go show up to some place, look at their phone 70% of their time, all right, not even greet customers, all right, and if somebody wants to buy something, they just got to ring it up on a goddamn register, throw it in a bag, and say, thank you, come again. They want $25 an hour to do that shit. So this is why I said, Trump, all right, you want to bring back manufacturing to America, yet you want to eject the only class of people these immigrants who are willing to do this type of work for the price applicable necessary to make the prices of the goods that they're either producing or yielding or harvesting comparable for consumption. Unfucking believable. Unbelievable. Oh, yeah, by the way, the tariffs, not only is it going to raise the price on all goods, but I told you what was going to happen. I said once Trump, and I said it in 2024, you guys that have been listening to me, you know I said it. I said that what's going to happen initially when Trump raises the tariffs, especially on China, they're going to cut the agricultural contracts that's basically keeping the farming industry in America profitable. And that's exactly what they did. And what did I say? I said that's going to happen at the beginning of the year, going into the summer. We're going to see a dramatic decrease in a lot of crops and a lot of things that farmers need to get rid of because they don't have that big order from China anymore, and they have this yield sitting there, and it's got a finite amount of time, so they got to get rid of it. So that's why you're seeing at the supermarket that you're going to see this initial dip in prices. And of course, I said that Trump was going to take a victory lap for it, and that's exactly what he's doing, but it's temporary. It's temporary. It's temporary. Watch, next year, folks, you're going to see prices of food go up to the highest price that we're coming down from now, and it's going to go even higher than that. Why? Take a look at this. Farmers nervously hope for some trade war relief. Because, folks, what many farmers were dependent on was the export of their goods. And because a lot of the countries took a little bit of offense to the fact that you had Trump litigating this idea of putting reciprocal tariffs in the general public, like blurting it out there in the media, I mean, that pissed a lot of countries off. So what's the first thing you do? You say, well, then fuck you and your goddamn crops. And that is fucking tearing the farmers apart right now. And guess what? Who's buying up all these fucking little farmers' land that were dependent on the exports from China and EU, which are not going out anymore? The fucking corporate farming industry. All right, the fucking Monsanto and these fucking big, fucking BlackRock, fucking Bill Gates and shit. So come on, man. This is not making America great again. Don't you understand that? I mean, for Christ's sake, wake up. But I'll tell you who is making America, or who America is great for today. Anybody who gives Trump money, all right? And I told you when Trump came out with this meme coin shit, this Trump coin, I said that not only was it his biggest rug pull since the Donald J. Trump fucking media company, that True Social crap, but it's the biggest fucking rug pull that he's ever pulled. And one thing that Trump is doing, this is why I'm not an investor in any of these markets right now. None. Because he's pumping and dumping the market for his own good. And did you hear what he did here recently for the people that are investing in his fucking shitty, useless, meaningless, basically money laundering operation called Trump Coin? Take a look at this. Trump offers private dinner to top 220 investors of his meme coin. And of course, once he said this, his fucking coin took off. And guess what? He's fucking just juicing it. He's selling off. It's a disgrace. It's a fucking disgrace. This should not be allowed in any public office, let alone the presidency. Let alone the presidency. Oh, God, man. And you see, this is why I don't want to come on here. Because nobody cares. If this guy can get away with this kind of big rug pull in the billions, in the fucking billions, I think we're in trouble. That's it for America. We're destroying it. And people are willingly allowing it to happen. Unbelievable. And Devious Dave with a Rumble rant, is Circuit City a good investment? Shut up, asshole. We got Red Eyes Black Dragon. I bought it all on weed. Well, great. Thanks a lot, Red Eyes Black Dragon. Tesla Cyberheart. Ghost is the weasel that dies at the end of the Roger Rabbit and turns. What the hell are you talking about? Tesla, you have switched sides several different times. All right? You don't even know whether you're coming or going. I'm going to be honest with you. Since you want to fucking talk shit about me, you were just in the goddamn TCR chat wondering if your job was going to be fucking still available because this fucking asshole in his cut. So why are you talking shit about me, you fucking jerk off? You should be worried about your own shit. Fucking idiot. And Alexander the Resurrection, what do you make of Kid Rock's restaurants in Nashville shutting down because of the ICE raids?
They're eating the cats.
Despite he was one of the most MAGA guys out there. Well, it's a consequence of his politics. I mean, Trump was serious, obviously, he wanted to deport all these people. He was serious. All right, and look at this. Chicken Little Ghost, the nation is failing, save us, China. No, that's not what I'm saying, asshole. All right, there's no one that can save us except ourselves. But if you take a look at the American public, you want to see the American public? All right, you want to see the American? I'll show you the American public, all right? You know what the top culture is right now in America? The top culture is rap and hip-hop ghetto criminality culture. That's what it is. And I tweeted this, I think last week, a graduation that was filmed. And I can't believe that this, did they take it down? They may have taken it down. They may have taken it down because people, they don't want to come to the realization that, bad things are happening and our country is failing in more ways than one. I mean, politically, socially, economically, our culture is crap. Yeah, here it is right here. Sorry. Here it is right here. Now, this is a graduation right now in modern America. And this is being inspired by the rap and hip-hop culture. And I'd also like to add that a lot of these people have been supported by the United States taxpayer. Put the PC shot on. This is what I'm talking. This is a graduation in America today. Look, put this out here. This is a graduation in America. That is a graduation. All right, there it is. Now, like I was saying, where in Trump's imagination did he think that he was going to have American people shoulder the burden of going out there and becoming the manufacturing base again? I mean, can somebody explain this? I mean, this is not possible. If you want my opinion, everything that Trump's doing, in my opinion, is destroying this country. We're being gutted. All right. Most of the American people don't care. They don't care about themselves. They don't care about their families. As long as they're able to hit the dopamine button and be entertained and get their assholes puckered, that's all they give a shit about. That's all they give a shit about.
They're eating the cats.
And hold on just a second. We got some people here on Buy Me a Coffee. Let me go ahead and take a look at this. And look, I really didn't want to do this show tonight. But I'll tell you this right now, man. I mean, I this is why I'm not doing a show. This is what I believe. Both parties have a hard-on to destroy this country. All right? They have a hard-on to destroy this country. And I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway, someone said this segment was brought to you by the Chinese Communist Party of China. Dude, I have been an enemy of China for a long time. I don't know why you were even affiliating me with China. And Devious Dave, what did you notice about the people in that graduation video? Well, they're a part of the hip-hop culture, which, by the way, is predominantly consumed by white people. All right? Take a look at the demographics. And trolling the interwebs, I'm going to see if Trump can deport my wife. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, look, let's get serious again, all right? Let's get back to getting serious here. Now, I talked about how, Trump is getting a private dinner for 220 of his investors, top investors of his meme coin, Trump coin. What's culminated? Remember Elon Musk and Doge and how they were supposed to cut $2 trillion and all this other shit? Well, take a look at this. Trump is now wiping Elon Musk's name from Truth Social as GOP insiders admit he's finished, he's gone, he's done. Okay? So I told you that Trump allowed Elon Musk, and they used the guise of cutting and Doge and all Elon Musk was doing with those young pricks that were susceptible minions, was aggregating the United States' data, putting it in his AI, and I'd like to know where that data is being stored. Because I showed you on the last show, if you don't remember, please look at the last show. I showed a video where somebody at the World Economic Forum saying that the controller of the world is going to not only control AI, but control the data. Whoever controls the data controls the world. And that's exactly what Trump did with Elon Musk. Okay? So Elon Musk doesn't give a shit if he's still a part of the Trump administration or not. He's already got the fucking data. He's already got the fucking data. And who the hell knows who Elon Musk works for or what fucking loyalty he has, certainly not to our country. But there you go. Okay, there's Elon Musk. All right, Doge work is done. Jesus Christ. And I don't know what the hell you're talking about, Tesla Cyberheart. All right, go chill out and fucking work on your shit, dude. And Marshall Bernsey, this is the American culture. Well, it is, dude, it is. All right, it wouldn't be predominantly sold and advertised all over media if it wasn't the predominant culture. All right? Now, going back to Elon Musk and Doge, what exactly did it cut? Well, these Doge cuts, as I stated as they were happening, I said that they're gutting us and they're leaving us vulnerable to all kinds of shit. And if you happen to be in the Kentucky and Missouri area, you know what I'm talking about. All right? No warnings, nothing. No warnings, nothing. Take a look at this. Trump cuts leave National Weather Service scrambling to cover vital shifts. Okay? The National Weather Service is offering transfers to meteorologists to fill staffing vacancies after Trump administration's budget staff cuts. All right? I mean, the unintended consequences for just flat out just fucking cutting and not methodically itemizing everything and figuring out, okay, we cut this. What does this affect? All right? I mean, and then look, I feel bad for the folks out there in Kentucky. Take a look at this. Kentucky National Weather Service Forecast Office faced federal staff cuts before the deadly tornadoes hit. So nobody had any warning, because typically you would have a warning. National Weather Service has the ability to send everybody a mass text in the area in order to tell people to get into fucking cover. We got tornadoes on the ground and shit. So I'll tell you this right now. That's Elon Musk and Doge right there. All right, and of course nobody is going to hold them accountable. All right, because they have plausible deniability. They're like, well, we just caught. We didn't know. Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. And what else? What else is happening? Oh, yeah, you want to go on a plane? And how many planes have gone down? How many planes have gone down out here? Have you heard the Newark Airport shit? Well, guess what? Newark Airport air traffic controllers experience another alarming system outage. Are you fucking kidding me? I ain't flying at all during this administration. I ain't flying for shit. All right, things are collapsing. Our fucking infrastructure, everything that we depended on as far as government service is concerned, is fucking collapsing. This is what I've been saying. I said that this fucking Doge was gutting us from the inside out. And then you combine that with our foreign policy where we're fucking pissing on our allies and kissing the asses of our enemies. I mean, this is not a recipe for a good fucking ending for this country. Good fucking God, you people are fucking idiots. I swear to Christ, you people are fucking idiots. I mean, the American public are absolutely ungrateful. They're ignorant. They're unappreciative. And they're fucking indulgent morons. They have no idea. They don't care unless something happens to them. They don't care. Like nobody cared that Qatar, all right, one of the many countries implicated in the 9/11 attacks, gave, and look, I thought this was a joke, but apparently it wasn't. They actually gave Trump a fucking airplane. All right, the guys that are implicated in financing the fucking 9/11 attacks had the audacity to give this fucking moron Trump an airplane. And what did Trump say? Oh, well, I got to take it. I mean, it's a gift. I have to take it. I'd be stupid not to take it. Qatar, I'd be stupid not to take it. What a bunch of fucking idiots. And look, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you the Trump that I supported back in 2016 when he was talking about one Hillary Clinton and her gifts from Qatar and Saudi Arabia. Put the PC.
Saudi Arabia giving $25 million, Qatar, all of these countries. These are people that kill women and treat women horribly, and yet you take their money.
Not a gift to me, it's a gift to the Department of Defense. And you should know better.
Why don't you give back the money that you've taken from certain countries that treat certain groups of people so horribly?
You should be embarrassed asking that question. They're giving us a free jet. I could say, no, don't give us. I want to pay you $1 billion or 400 million or whatever it is. Or I could say, thank you very much.
Why don't you give back the money? I think it would be a great gesture.
I thought it was a beautiful gesture. Now, there are those that say we shouldn't be accepting gifts to the Defense Department. And I would say only a stupid person would say that.
It should have never happened. And I think you owe an explanation to the American people.
We're giving to everybody else. Why wouldn't I accept the gift?
If I ever said that, that's quid pro quo.
Quid pro quo.
Saudi Arabia giving 20.
If I ever said that, that would be quid pro quo. If I ever said that, that would be quid pro quo. And look, True Democrat Radio, it's his fucking words. How is this True Democrat Radio? How is this True Democrat Radio? It's his fucking words. It's his own words, you idiot. Oh, God, man. You see, this is why I don't do this shit anymore. I don't like doing the True Capitalist Radio anymore. All right, these people are fucking idiots. Look, the only way we're going to save this country, and you could quote me on this, okay, is if we replace most of the American people. That's the only way we're going to save this country, because the American people don't give a shit about the Constitution anymore. The American people don't give a shit about the Constitution. They don't give a shit about anything. And if you don't believe me, take a look at this, all right? Shocking. Experts question Trump claiming, I don't know about upholding the Constitution. I don't know. I'm the president. I swore an oath to the Constitution, but I don't know if I should fucking uphold the fucking Constitution. And you fucking idiots have the audacity to sit here and try to mouth off that I'm some fucking Democrat, you stupid fucking piece of shit. All right? Fuck you. All right? Fuck you. The President of the United States. I don't know if I should uphold the Constitution. What kind of shit is this? How the fuck can you people call yourselves American people and American citizens when you're allowing this shit to happen? When you are allowing this shit to happen. So that's why I'm saying the only way that we're going to save the American Constitution, the only way that we're going to save American freedom, the Bill of Rights, is if we replace these ungrateful, entitled, piece of shit American people. And look, not all American people are like this. I get it. I'm not blaming everybody, but a group is defined by its majority. And that's why you have a lot of folks on X. Have you heard about this? Black fatigue. You know, black fatigue. You've been hearing a lot about this on X. That's why you have a lot of folks on X who happen to be other pigmentation than black saying they have, quote, black fatigue. Because why? Not all black people are like that, but there's enough of an aggregated amount of instances that have been documented that define a majority. Okay? So that is what is going on with the general American public. The general American public, the proof is the fact that they don't give a shit that a sitting president is saying that he doesn't know if they should uphold the Constitution. So I cannot believe that the American people are sitting on their thumbs when this is a government made for the people and by the people and are allowing this kind of shit to happen. And all you got to do is fucking go out and vote for some fucker that is not going to allow this to happen. Oh, God. Anyway, once again, I don't give a shit what anybody says. All right, the only way we're going to save the Constitution, the only way we're going to save the freedoms that defines America is if we replace these American people that don't care. The American people don't care. They care more about their social media clout. They care more about tickling their assholes to some fucking social media influencer. They care more about consuming entertainment than they do about putting in just a little bit of effort in understanding what's going on in the politic of America so that you can properly vote in this America. You know what I mean? So once again, shocking experts question Trump claiming, I don't know if I should uphold the Constitution. Why American people aren't fucking pissed off about this, I have no fucking idea. But once again, we have to replace American people if the American people aren't going to protect the Constitution. We need to bring in people that are going to care about the fucking rights that are accorded to them by God. We got to bring in people that are going to love this country, they're going to work for this country, that appreciate the opportunities of this country, that aren't going to bitch at this country. All right? This is who we need. And you take a look at both sides, not just the fucking MAGA side, the fucking Democrats are the same way. Both of these fucking pieces of trash parties now hate this country. They don't want to uphold the Constitution. Each one of them are trying to move towards a collective ideology. All right? It's just the methodology, the schematics on how to get there that separates these two parties at this point in time. So I don't give a shit if you people are pissed. I don't give a fuck. All right? But you didn't uphold your fucking duty as an American person and conducted yourself properly in this political process. If you did, we wouldn't have this goddamn problem that we have today. Jesus Christ. Alexander the Resurrection, what do you think about the South Africans who were brought here and they're going to receive food stamps, housing, and a path to citizenship? Well, I don't care who's brought here. I really don't care who's brought here. I just want them to be productive. I want them to protect the country. And if push comes to shove, we have to go to war, that they will send themselves and their children to war to protect this country. Americans don't want to do that. All right, Americans, y'all heard throughout the last year, if you don't go to the archive, especially on YouTube, and take a look at the chat whenever I would discuss the potentials of war. These idiots will be like, I'm not fighting for Israel. I'm going to pee-poo my pants and I won't be drafted. This is what we have as American pieces of shit. I'm sorry. All right, there's no patriotism. There's false patriotism, because if MAGA gave a shit or if the Democrats gave a shit, they would be protecting that fucking document called the Constitution. Because once the Constitution becomes null and void, not only is that it for America and its freedom, but that's it for any aspirations of anybody else in the world to attain freedom. The possibility has been eliminated from the world for freedom. So I'll tell you this right now. We need to replace American people right away, all right? I swear, we need to bring in a whole crop of people that are going to be productive, that are going to be politically applicable, that are going to be fucking appreciative of the freedoms. And that's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. And look, let me tell you how stupid you fucking people are in America if you're fucking pissed at me. All right, let me show you how stupid you fucking people are. Remember Kash Patel and Bongino?
They're eating the cats.
Kash Patel and Bongino were grifting pieces of shit. And I'll read that in just a second. They were grifting pieces of shit as podcasters and all this other shit, right? And all of a sudden, they get into the FBI, and these were the guys that would advocate. They would talk all this conspiracy crap. Both of these fucking pieces of shit advocated that Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. I'm talking about the FBI director and his deputy director, Kash Patel and Dan Bongino. They all, prior to this position, they all approached the possibility and advocated it on their shitty podcast that Epstein killed himself. We'll take a look at this. Trump's FBI bosses are angering the MAGA media bubble they once stoked. And why? Why are these two fucking weirdos now angering MAGA? Well, because let me tell you, Trump should have never, and I repeat, never should have even entertained campaigning on releasing the Epstein files. Because now MAGA is insistent upon it, and now, guess what? Dan Bongino and Kash Patel went in front of an interview, and you know what they said? You know what they said? We were lying. Epstein killed himself. Epstein killed himself. All right? Nothing to see here. Epstein killed himself. Jesus Christ. This is how stupid you people are. This is how dumb and ignorant you are. And guess what? The MAGA fucking tards out there, yeah, they're making a little bit of a stink about the Epstein conspiracy, but not enough. All right? Not enough. Not enough. And you want to know why Pam Bondi, the head of the DOJ, the head of the FBI, Kash Patel, and the deputy head of the CIA or FBI, Dan Bongino. You want to know why they're kind of trying to, just kind of quash all this Epstein stuff? Because who was closer to Epstein than fucking Donald Trump? Who was closer to Epstein? And if you don't believe me, all right, right before Epstein...
So how do you know?
Shut that up. Right before Epstein was fucking suicided, he talked to a journalist from Newsweek, actually the editor of Newsweek, what's his name, Mike Wolf. And he gave him countless hours of discussion, and it was recorded. Okay? And take a look at this. Epstein, I was Donald Trump's closest friend for years. All right, play this shit.
So how do you know this?
Donald's closest friend for years.
So I need the Donald. Just give me Donald.
First, it's fun. So you probably know he had a scalp reduction because he had the same male pattern movement that we all have. He had his scalp moved, which is terrible. Donald's office, as you know, he made that. He used to be on the phone as that fake PR person. I also find it funny.
Here, I'm gonna play it back. I'm sorry because you couldn't see the closed caption. So here it is.
How do you know this?
Donald's closest friend for years.
So I need the Donald. Just give me Donald.
First, it's fun. So you probably know he had a scalp reduction because he had the same male pattern movement that we all have. He had his scalp moved, which is terrible. Donald's office, as you know, he made that. He used to be on the phone as that fake PR person. I also find it funny. I was sitting there listening to the guys from the Post talk, and Donald would say, he's a great guy. I loved working with him. And I sit there going, this is just amazing. And he'd say, Michael, come on, let's go to the office. And he'd say, tell me, what's it like in there? He'd say, do you like having sex with your wife? How often do you have? He'd say, it's great. Seriously, Michael, how often do you have sex? I mean, don't you want to try? You and I can go upstairs or tomorrow, come over. There's this girl's coming in from Los Angeles, part of the Hawaiian Tropic So come over with your car. You're going to have a great time. I promise you, Michael, it's just me and you. You're going to have a great time. Be up here at 3 o'clock. We can go upstairs. The whole time, Victoria's been on the phone listening. He set it up because he wants a story. So he has you on, because as an avoid conversation, you're not going to say yes, but much. He had a really.
Well, here's some interference here.
How would you like really fucking? Come on, you must. You must have had a better wife, right? I said, yes. Tell me about it. And the wife's on the speakerphone listening to Donald and said, I know you.
Anyway, there's countless hours of Epstein with Michael Wolff discussing his very close relations with Donald Trump. I mean, they were best friends since the fucking 90s. The 90s. I mean, they have footage of him at Mar-a-Lago in like 91, 92. So that's why, in my opinion, you don't have a very rush to, make sure to find out what happened to Epstein, in my opinion. That's why the files aren't going to be released because, I don't know, Donald was a little close to old Epstein, and I'm sure that in their investigations they found Trump's name being brought up over and over. So that's why you've got Trump-appointed Kash Patel, head of the FBI, and Trump-appointed Deputy FBI head Bongino saying, nope, he killed himself, even though we advocated when we were fucking podcast grifters that he didn't kill himself. No, he killed himself, and case closed. That's it. Unfucking believable. All right? Unfucking believable. But this is the American people. All right? This is the American people out here. Speaking of Pam Bondi, what is Pam Bondi doing? I mean, because she certainly isn't, releasing the Epstein files, even though she claimed that she was. I mean, as a matter of fact, I should fucking play that video again of all those stupid MAGA grifters coming out. All these ridiculous MAGA grifters coming out and claiming to have had the Epstein files in some fucking binder that was labeled Epstein files when it was a fucking nothing burger. An absolute nothing burger. Well, take a look at what Pam Bondi's doing now. Pam Bondi toys with axing DOJ's public corruption unit. All right? Because why? Well, Trump doesn't want to be prosecuted for any of the non-American things that he's doing as president. All right, so give me a break. All right, these are all people that are utilizing their positions in order to cover up things for the president, which, is kind of being used against Biden, but I'll get to that in a minute. But this is where we're at. I mean, I just don't understand how people could sit back and claim that this is American when it absolutely is not. I mean, we are nothing without the Constitution. We're nothing without the rule of law, and that is being corrupted by a bunch of appointees who have no idea, nothing. They have no drive other than to cover up what Trump is doing. Unfucking believable. And by the way, he's the president, so he has unlimited immunity according to the fucking Supreme Court. So just FYI. So, I mean, what about Pete Hegseth? Well, the real story about Pete Hegseth, aside from him being a complete drunkard incompetent, is that he got his balls in his wife's purse. Have you heard about this? The real reason Pete Hegseth's wife, Jennifer Ratchet, or whatever the fuck her name is, won't let him out of her sight, and the secret nickname she has earned from the Pentagon staffers. Yes, that is correct. Pete Hegseth literally has his wife around him at all times, even there amidst getting debriefs of classified material, the whole fucking nine. They're calling her the political Yoko Ono. And this is just yet another example of how Trump put in some idiot who would do anything he said, as opposed to somebody competent that would keep the fucking country safe. All right, and not fucking talk about military operations on a signal chat. All right, so this is what we're at. I mean, this is supposedly making America great again. All right, incompetent assholes running the show, doing nothing but what Trump tells them to do, and it certainly doesn't benefit you or me. All right? It doesn't benefit you or me. So great. And hold on, we got Alexander the Resurrection. If push came to shove, I'd definitely fight for my country if they needed us. But I don't think it's wrong to say we won't fight for a foreign parasite like Israel. Well, dude, listen, nobody was going to fight for Israel. And by the way, we're going to talk about Israel in just a second. And American Enemy Okotu said, talk about James Comey making subtle threats to Trump. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, all right? I appreciate it, but I'm going to talk about it in a minute. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. I'm trying here. There's a lot of shit I got to go into here. Now, speaking of which, the Supreme Court has kind of not necessarily sided with Trump here lately. Did you read about this? Supreme Court blocks Trump from restarting Alien Enemies Act to deport. Now, the reason is because, first and foremost, the Aliens Enemies Act says specifically that the only way that you can have this type of deportation under this act is if Congress declares war. Congress has to declare war in order for the Aliens Enemies Act to happen. And unfortunately, according to many MAGA-tards are now saying that, the judges, these rogue judges are trying to stop America from being great again. No, they're not, you idiot. All right? What the Supreme Court does is interpret what legislation has been passed and how that legislation can be legally implemented. Now, when it comes to deportations, what these MAGA-tards don't want to tell you is that what should happen. If they want mass deportations, if they want all this shit at the border, why don't they put it in a bill and pass it in legislation? You don't need the courts, all right? I mean, GOP has a super majority right now. Why can't they all get in line with some immigration bill that allow deportations, that allow this shit that Trump wants to do? Because they can't. All right, because they can't. This is what I said, that if Trump was elected in 2025, that he has no policy or ideas. He has no policy or ideas. And that's why nobody in Congress, even though this is a fucking GOP majority, nobody is doing what he says. Nobody is doing what he says, all right? And by the way, get this stupid idiot with the fucking tuna fish language that's in the fucking YouTube chat. Get out of here, all right? You fucking stupid enemy piece of shit. Get him out of here. And don't come back, all right? And shove a Ginsu knife up your ass. Fucking piece of shit. Fucking some idiot from Japan over here. Oh, get out of here. Fucking piece of shit. Anyway, as I was stating, before I got rudely interrupted by some jerk-off from YouTube with an anime profile picture, for Christ's sake. All right? Give me a fucking break. Anyway, once again, if Trump really wanted to mass deport, he just has to write the legislation, have the damn fucking Republicans pass it in the legislative branch, him sign it, and that's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. Why can't the GOP pass a massive deportation bill? It's that easy. You don't need the courts for that shit. That's why the fucking court ruled against him in this, because the Aliens Enemies Act was passed back in the fucking 1800s or some shit by Congress, and the fucking judicial branch, which is one of the three branches of government, okay? The judicial branch has to interpret that fucking policy and that law. That's what that shit's about, all right? That's what that shit's about. And if you try to go and litigate policy, that's not what the goddamn Supreme Court's going to do. The Supreme Court isn't going to do that. Okay, the Supreme Court is going to interpret the policy that is passed by legislation in order to figure out the precise language and interpretation around the legislation. All right? And by the way, I'm banning you on whatever fucking chat you're in. All right? I'm tired of you stupid idiots that are out here that are, putting, you're spitting in your hand and you're waxing your carrot like this. Listen, this is a serious show, you jerk off, all right? If you don't like it, then get the fuck out of here, all right? Fucking pieces of shit. You're the reason why we need to replace American people. You're the reason why we need to replace American people. Old man Frank 76 is the reason why we need to fucking replace American fucked up fucking people. Jesus Christ, what do we got? Trolling the interwebs. Hey, cheers, thanks for the TCR. Well, I appreciate it, trolling the interwebs. I'm trying out here. I'm trying, but I got a bunch of jerk nuts that are out here fucking flapping their fat Cheeto-stained fingers on a keyboard, talking a bunch of malarkey. This is why I don't like doing this fucking show anymore. All right? This is fucking why. Now, even though the Supreme Court struck down his Alien Enemies Act for deportation, the U.S. Supreme Court did side with him on this. Take a look at this. U.S. Supreme Court lets Trump end deportation protection for Venezuelans, because the deportation protection for Venezuelans, as I remember it, was an executive order by Biden, if I'm not mistaken. And you see, because that wasn't passed into law by the legislative branch, that's why the Supreme Court allowed Trump to end the deportation protection from Venezuelans. So you get it? So you idiot MAGA people, you fucking cat turds, you fucking Jack Prosobo fucking asshole, fucking Charlie Kirk, all you idiots that are out here saying, rogue judges are doing this, they're doing that. Why don't you idiots pass something in the legislative branch? All right, I mean, you can pass anything into law, but you can't. You want to know why? Because you suck. All right? All right, you suck. All right, put the PC shot on. Take a look at this. All right? House GOP leaders want Trump to dissuade hardliners on deeper Medicaid cuts. So they can't even get, into agreement on this big, beautiful bill bullshit that they have been debating ever since the goddamn president took office. All right? It is about to be June, for Christ's sake, in a week and a half, and these fuckers are still debating about this big, beautiful bill. This is what I'm saying. Trump had no ideas, had no policy. And that's why I told you no one was going to stay loyal to him, because he has no idea. He expects everybody just to stay loyal to him because he's him, not because he's pushing any political ideas or thoughts. Jesus Christ. Anyway, hold on. Scott Peterson, a big fan, but I have a small question. Have you ever been with another man? Shut up, asshole. And Capitalist Chris, thanks for the show. I appreciate it, Capitalist Chris. I'm trying, man. I really don't like doing this show because, as you see, our country is being gutted. We're being destroyed. And you've got the American people clapping their hands saying, yay, spaghetti, yay. But once again, as I was stating, I knew that Trump wasn't going to get anything done. That's why he's shitting out all these executive orders to see what he can get away with. Because he knows he doesn't have any ideas that'll coalesce all the GOP around in order for them to pass legislation. They haven't passed shit. Oh, but I take that back. You know what they passed today? Did y'all hear about this? And let me tell you something. You people that are out there that are trolls, that are doing deep fakes about people, you better be concerned, because now you are breaking federal law. Today, okay, Melania Trump said there will be new revenge porn law that will protect children online. In actuality, folks, this is against any deep fake. All right, they guised it around revenge porn and protecting children online. But now, if you are deep faking somebody without their consent, you could legitimately be subjected to federal law jurisdiction. And that's why, I don't know if y'all saw, he signed this bill in the Rose Garden over there in the White House. And he said, and I quote, the politicians here are going to love this bill. And why? Because they're getting fucking bombed on. They're getting memed on using AI to make them look like the stupid morons that they are. All right? So I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of you trolls out there that are doing deep fakes of other people in this community. And I'm warning you, now all of a sudden it's federal law. All right? It's federal law. So I caution each and every one of you folks out there that are using AI in order to deepfake somebody without their consent. It is now against the law. It is now against the law. So that's what Trump and the Republicans all gathered around for. That's the only thing they can pass. That's the only thing they can pass. They're going to show it. Here it is. Here's the signing. Here's the signing.
I'm honored to join you here today for the signing of the Take It Down Act, a national victory that will help parents and families protect children from online exploitation. As First Lady, my Be Best initiative is focused on improving children's well-being, encouraging kindness, and creating a safer online environment for our youth. Today, I'm proud to say that that of Be Best will be reflected in the law of the land.
Yep. And look, I'm really surprised they're not showing Trump giving his comments about it, about how politicians are going to love this law, because now you can't make deep fakes of politicians, even if they're in jest or in all, tongue in cheek. So what constitutes a deep fake? Well, that's what the courts are going to decide. You understand that, Fade Runner? All right? Once people are busted, the courts are going to have to decide what precedent or what isn't precedent. That's what the judicial branch does. You magatards that are out here calling for, the replacement of judges and all that bullshit, all you have to do is pass legislation. Out here in Texas, all right, that's what we're doing. Okay, the Texas state legislature and the governor, we have a super majority in the state of Texas, and we're passing everything. All right? We already passed a bill banning pornography. We already passed a bill passing student school vouchers, which is going to decimate the public education system in Texas, which that's where it belongs. All right? We fucking passed a bill against anime. Any anime that looks under the age of 18 that is depicted in some sexual capacity can now be used against them in a criminal law situation. All right. We passed everything out here in Texas, boy. And why? Because we
They're
have
eating
the
the
power.
cats.
We have the Republican power to do it. And you see, we have ideas. We've been talking about this. The Republican Party out here in Texas, we've been talking about banning anime because it's a fucking disgusting piece of shit, fucking pathetic, demoralizing, effeminate fucking piece of shit propaganda from Japan. And guess what? We banned furries in school. All right, we banned furries in school. Let me tell you something, America, you need to look to Texas on how to make your fucking state moral again. We ban drag shows. If you do a drag show, you better be over 21. If not, we're going to shut you down and fucking arrest the person that's fucking hosting that fucking event. So I'll tell you this right now, that's what the Republicans should be doing on a national scale. They're not, because they can't. Because they can't. They have no ideas. Now, let's take a look at the other side. Let's take a look at the Democrats, because there ain't shit over there either. You know what the Democrats are trying to shove down their fucking people's throats? Take a look at this. Bernie Sanders, this prostate-infected piece of fucking fraudulent shit, and this dingbat Puerto Rican with the big fucking tetas, they're pushing these fucking people as the future of the Democrat Party. And I'm telling you, folks, we are doomed. We are fucking doomed. I mean, each way you look at, it's complete incompetence. It's complete pathetic centralization. It's collective thinking. It's anti-American. So that's why I'm telling each and every one of you, man, that America is doomed. It's over. All right? And you people killed it. The American people killed this country because you're entitled, you're ignorant, you're fucking ungrateful, and you think everything should be handed to you on a fucking silver platter. And it makes me fucking sick. This is the alternative. This piece of shit is the alternative. How many fucking times is this fucking old piece of 80-year-old shit gonna run for president and take the money and run? All right, and what the fuck? AOC is a dingbat. Imagine this bitch actually being in charge in a fucking executive level of anything. She's an idiot. Oh, God. And you know what? Here comes Bernie again. Hey, here I go again. It's me, Bernie Sanders, and I'm doing the new revolution. All right, it's my 4th time running for president here. I need more money. I'm going to write another book now because I'm Bernie Sanders. And guess what I'm going to say? Look at my new message here, all right? This is my revolution against the Democratic Party. Take a look at this, all right? Bernie Sanders. Democrat Party is a threat to democracy. That's right. The Democrat Party is a threat to democracy. That's why you got to elect me. You got to put more money in my pocket. Donate to the Bernie Sanders campaign. I'm going to write another book now. I'm going to write another book now, and you're going to buy it. So there you are. That's what we have. That's the fucking choices we have, dude. These are the choices we have in America. Where are all the young leaders at? Put down your fucking video games, man. All right, put down your fucking pecker that you're whacking to fucking cartoon women, and some of you people that have any fucking semblance of decency, of ideas that are politically motivated. I am encouraging you, man. Run for something, please. All right? Take these stupid fucking idiots that don't know what they're doing. Take them out of power, man. Run for something. Please, each and every one of you, I'm talking to you. Run for something. Jesus Christ. We have these pieces of trash, these pieces of garbage as the opposition. All right, our fucking country is doomed. All right, our country is doomed. Now, if it isn't Bernie Sanders and AOC, okay, take a look at this. You got this idiot, James Comey, the head of the FBI, that failed to prosecute Hillary Rotten Clinton because of the goddamn private email she had in her bathroom and shit. And the reason he didn't prosecute her? Because she was careless and unsophisticated. And careless and unsophisticated is not a crime. And he actually argued that in front of Congress. Well, here you have James Comey. He comes out and is taking a huge amount of flack because he posted an Instagram post. Now, look, I want to be honest with you. I think this is all bait. Because in my opinion, this only helps solidify MAGA. all right, by doing this. I don't know why Comey would do something like this. It makes no fucking sense. I have no idea. But he posted something, and he posted it in seashells, and I think they have it here. Hold on, no thanks. I think they have it here. No, they don't have it here. But he posted something that said 8647. Now, 86 means typically, like, kill it. Like, hey, 86 this, all right? Like, kill it, kill this, kill that. That's what it means. And, of course, 47 is making reference to Trump being the 47th president of the United States. Why Comey would do this, I have no fucking idea. It doesn't make any sense. It only benefits the MAGA crowd. And this is the last thing that you need. I mean, they're against the ropes, in my opinion, because they don't know where the Epstein files are. They've been lied to by Trump so many times. But no, you got to go do some shit like this. Unfucking believable. Unfucking believable. And look, he's being under investigation. He got questioned by the Secret Service. And by the way, everybody who posted, like all these Democrats, thought it was fun. Like, hey, I'm going to post it. I'm going to post it too. They all got visited also by the Secret Service. And look, rightfully so. Look, as much as I disagree with Trump, I think that we should still use the democratic process to be able to, get rid of Trump in a political process capacity or elect people that'll stop Trump from doing what he's doing. All right, that's how our political system works. All right, I mean, this goes out to both sides. It's not just the left, it's the right as well. These calls for political violence is unbelievably pathetic because there's no ideas behind these fucking dumbass threats and threats of political violence. There's no ideas. It's all, hey, my guy's got a bigger dick than your guy. That's literally what is inspiring political violence. It's like my guy has better hair than your guy. That's literally what's inspiring the political violence. It's not about, oh, we need to help these people or we need to call attention to this fucking idea or policy. Or no, it's my guy's got a bigger dick than your guy, and if you think your guy's bigger dick than mine, then I'm gonna call for violence. Unfucking believable. Unbelievable. And look, not only did the Comey thing help, kind of bring MAGA back into coalescence. But I mean, doing shit like this isn't going to help either. You've got these whacked out weirdos like this fucking guy. I even tweeted something about him. Shuri, was it Tanander, whatever the fuck his name is, and that fucking idiot Al Green out of Houston. They're coming out and saying, hey, here's some more impeachment files, this and that. I mean, you fucking Democrats, you got to play fire with fire. The impeachment shit didn't work. What you people need to realize, and I'm talking to the Democrats, you need to go back to the Blue Dog Democrat where you cared about people and not about groups, okay? Blue Dog Democrats once upon a time cared about the general American public's well-being and whether or not they had a fair shake in the process of what the American economy was. Today, the Democrats are about giving special groups of people special privileges, which is why they're in the shambles that they're in today. Okay? And this is why, if there's any Democrats out there, you need to run a centrist fucking policy that emphasizes opportunities for the American people. And unless you're going to go down that road, the Democrats aren't going to do shit. That's why Trump is even going towards more of the center. Because that's where the power is. It's not in the fringes. It's in the center. And that's why these Democrats don't know whether they're coming or going. Because, I mean, they've been operating at the fringe for a long period of time. And it's going to be kind of hard for them to kind of rebrand themselves. That's why you got the Democrats rolling with AOC and Bernie Sanders, for Christ's sake. And another thing that gave MAGA a little shot in the arm on top of the ridiculousness that I just mentioned previous, the Comey thing, these idiots trying to assert articles of impeachment, even though they don't have the fucking clout to do so. You also have Biden that came out recently, and I don't know why he said this, but he has an aggressive form of prostate cancer. Now, this has given fodder even more to the current administration, suggesting that, oh, we did the right thing. He was incompetent. He may have had prostate cancer the whole time. Why the fuck did Biden come out and say this? In my opinion, I think that Biden feels scorned. I think he's pissed that they forced him to step down when running for the second term. And I think he's doing this for legacy to be remembered. But in my opinion, he's hurting the Democrat Party. Maybe that's his intention. Maybe that's his intention because I'm sure he's pissed off. I mean, there's been many articles where he has suggested that he should have never have been forced out. But I think that this is more of a legacy thing because it hurts the Democrat Party. It validates that the Democrats may or may not have been hiding the debilitation of Joe Biden throughout his tenure. All right, so it doesn't make any sense. The Democrats are taking massive L's at this point in time, even though Trump is bumbling around with incompetence or malice, if you want my opinion. But either way, it doesn't look good for America, and that's why I haven't been doing too many True Capitalist radios as of late, because the American people don't give a shit. The American people don't give a fuck. So why the fuck should I care? All right? I mean, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Now, let's go ahead and, I guess, talk a little bit about international stuff, I guess. Did you hear today? Trump touts new Russia-Ukraine talks, even as he steps back. Now, he was touting while he was visiting the Middle East last week that he wanted to have a personal sit-down with Putin. Of course, that pissed everybody off, even those on the right, because it doesn't make any sense why he insists on having a sit-down with Putin. So once he understood the flack from that, he decided to call Putin, and he called him apparently this morning and had a 2-hour conversation with Putin. Now, what really pisses me off is the tweet that he tweeted out. And I mean, it underscores how much of a hard-on, and I don't get it. I really don't get what the hell Russia has on Trump. I have no idea. But put the PC shut on. I tweeted this today. I said, this is why I haven't been doing True Capitalist Radio, because I said all the shit Trump is doing was going to happen in 2024. And the American people are willingly championing their own destruction. He's going to make Russia great again, just as I said. I did say that. Y'all remember me saying that. I said he's going to lift the sanctions. He's going to throw all this money, and he's going to turn the fledgling, basically wartime economy of Russia, and he's going to make it great again. And this is what he says on his True Social. Just completed my 2-hour call with Vladimir Putin of Russia. I believe it went very well. Russia and Ukraine will immediately start negotiation towards a ceasefire. They've been saying that for months. And more importantly, an end to the war. The conditions for that will be negotiated between the two parties. That's what they've said before. As I can only be because they know the details of a negotiation that nobody else would be aware of. The tone and spirit of the conversation were excellent. If it wasn't, I would say so now rather than later. Russia wants to do a large-scale trade with the United States when this catastrophic bloodbath is over, and I agree. So there you go. All right? Once this new trade agreement happens with Russia, it's not going to benefit the United States, you idiots. It's going to benefit Russia. Russia right now is barely fledgling along with the wartime economy. And if we give them this fucking big-ass trade deal, then it makes Russia great again while we're fucking suffering. I told you so. I told you so. I fucking told you so. All right, you fucking idiots. Anyway, there's a tremendous opportunity for Russia to create massive amount of jobs and wealth. Its potential is unlimited. Yeah, we tried that before, Trump, you fucking moron. He kicked out all American businesses and then invaded Ukraine, you stupid shithead. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Likewise, Ukraine can greatly be a beneficiary on trade in the process of its rebuilding its country. Negotiations between Russia and Ukraine will begin immediately. I have so informed President Vladimir Zelensky of Ukraine, Ursula von der Leyen, the president of the European Commission, President Emmanuel Macron of France, and Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, resting bitch face whore, of Italy, and Chancellor Friedrich Merz of Germany, and Alexander Stubb of Finland during a call with me immediately after the call with Putin. The Vatican, as represented by the Pope, has stated it would be very interested in hosting negotiations. Let the process begin. How many times does fucking Russia have to backstab America before we recognize that we can't trust these fucking throwbacks of evolution, these cockeyed fucking vodka-drinking pieces of shit? When are we going to realize that? Look, we tried to do this shit with Russia right after 9/11. Okay? Let's go back, okay? Because you people don't remember, okay? Let's go back and take a look at fucking Putin and old fucking Bush Jr. out there at Crawford Ranch. All right, this was back in 2001. All right, I mean, and look, I remember them meeting in the ranch, and I'm going to see if I can find this. If I can find this footage where he says, I looked into his soul and I saw there was a good man in there. Hold on, let me see if I can find that shit. All right, I looked into his soul. I don't think I can find any of that. Anyway, this is him and Putin. All right, take a look at this. This is him and Putin here. All right, this was to fucking 2001. Put the PC shot on right after 9/11. Here's Condi Rice. All right, this is him coming in. Oh yeah, we love you. Everything great, America. Yes. Fucking 2001. Okay. Look, all these American people, fucking yay, Russia and United States, we're friends again. Yay, spaghetti. Yay, spaghetti. How long did that last? How long did that fucking shit last? Oh, look at this, greeting this fucking prick, brought him over here, did the whole fucking 9 yards, and guess what? In 2005, he invaded Georgia, for Christ's sake. All right? He invaded Georgia. Now, the only reason that Putin backed off of Georgia was because fucking Bush Jr. was a wild cannon and would probably go and confront Putin in Georgia. So he pulled back from Georgia, okay? Then Obama came along and thought he could do the same shit just like Trump is fucking thinking he's doing, all right? And he thought he could do some reset. Like, hey, we could talk, we could talk and then do a reset. How about that? That didn't fucking work. Let me see if I can find the meeting on that shit. All right, let me see if I can find the meeting on that shit. Because we've done this with this fucking idiot Putin before, man. It doesn't fucking work. All right, it doesn't fucking work. And all you fucking pro-Russian simps, I mean, what do you have to say to this? I've already given you, here's Putin and fucking dumbass Obama, all right, meeting. This was during Obama's apology tour. Remember that shit? Obama went all over the world after he was elected to apologize for all the shit America did. And look what that did for us. Here's him kissing Putin's ass in Russia. Look at this, 7709. Here it is.
Where would you like me? Does it be good? So, Minister Lavrov is always making corrections to the translators. Somebody with some excellent English skills.
У вас есть человек, который прекрасно владеет английским языком. У нас таких много. We have plenty of those. Я нашел ваше обсуждение очень полезным.
Because I think it gave me important insights into transition from an earlier era.
То, что обе наши страны должны были
Now, here he is trying to kiss Putin's ass, just like Trump is going to do. And guess what? The same fucking shit's going to happen. All right? These fucking Russian cockeyed pieces of shit cannot be trusted. All right? They can't be trusted. Play it. Look at it. They're making tea with a fucking boot. They're making presidential tea with a fucking boot, for fuck's sake. And we're supposed to trust these fuckers? Get the fuck out of here. Look at this.
In some ways, the transition, a lot of hardship as a consequence of those changes.
И, насколько я знаю, во время 90-х годов много было. И я также знаю, что во время этого периода ваше личное руководство позволило России восстановить.
During the 90s and then on through the last 8 years.
See, I mean, fucking idiot Obama thought he could trust fucking Putin, and guess what? In 2012, fucking Putin went in and annexed Crimea, and what the fuck did dumbass Obama do? He didn't do shit! All right, he didn't do a fucking thing! So when Trump came along, that was more of a holding pattern. All right, Trump came along, kissed his ass. It was a holding pattern. And then lo and behold, Biden comes along. And, well, actually, Biden comes along and warns Russia, don't invade. Don't invade, you fucking piece of shit. They invaded. And look, we should be fucking throwing whatever we can into that theater of combat. We should be fucking sticking it to fucking Russia's ass. And we should make them forever involved in the wartime economy until the goddamn Russian people rise up against that fucking filthy piece of shit Putin and removes him from power. Sorry, 2014. 2012 was when, yeah, never mind. It was 2014 when they annexed Crimea. Thank you, Frank Castle. But anyway, we got some Rumble rants here. I'm not going to say that, Mr. Midnight, you fucking piece of shit. Marshall Bernsey, OC's Big Milkies. You mean AOC's Big Milkies, you fucking illiterate tard? Trolling the interwebs, he also posted that exact 8647 days from 9/11, which is what he was the lead investigator on. Well, you know, it depends on how you interpret that. I don't know. I thought it was. I don't see a reason why Comey did that. I really don't see a reason. Kirk Johnson, my thoughts and prayers are with the cancer during these difficult times. Are you talking about fucking Joe Biden? And old man Frank Portler is pissed off at life in society because no one considered hanging out. What? Hanging out naked with him at Luther's? Shut up, asshole. And Tesla Cyberheart, imagine thinking Antony Blinken's foreign policy benefited the average American. What the fuck it did? I mean, dude, with all due respect, Tesla, all right? I mean, it was a great time up until this election, and now everybody's suffering. You're suffering. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe you're like that bitch from Urban Cowboy, the bitch played by Deborah Winger. You know, you left, you know, your husband because he gave you a slap. You tried something new, and the new guy's not only just giving you a slap, he's giving you a beating, black eyes, bloody nose. And because you don't want to look like a fucking idiot, you're fucking saying, no, I love him. I love him. We have love. He gives me love in a physical sort of way. Anyway, we got somebody named Mark who hooked up a Buy Me a Coffee. Bernie Sanders lost 2 consecutive Democrat primaries in a row, Ghost. No one feels the burn anymore. He's worthless. Well, the Democrats are rolling with him, dude. The Democrats are rolling with him. Anyway, Trump, Russia, you know, I mean, we talked enough about it. All right, we talked enough about it. Now, something that I think is working is the tariffs on China, which I thought Trump should have just done that initially and kept the reciprocal tariffs on every other country to his fucking self. All right? Because I think we should take it to China. Take a look at this. China's economy slows in April as trade war blues hit retail sales, housing, and investment. Now, this I was completely for during the time he did it in 2016. I'm still for fucking putting on high tariffs on China. Now, don't get me wrong. I know that there's going to be higher prices on some goods. The problem is that Trump made this reciprocal tariff on everybody. Vietnam, fucking Bangladesh, fucking all these other countries that are also manufacturers that could offset the missing product that we're not going to get from China because of the tariffs. He completely dropped the ball on that. He's completely dropped the ball. That's why we're going to be going through some shortages here soon. So I hope that you have everything material necessary for a while. All right, everything for a while. But it's basically who's going to blink first, all right? And China doesn't look like it wants to blink. I mean, they're out here touting that they'll fight to the end, they'll do this or they'll do that. And look, if you want my opinion, I mean, if we continue to do this to China, I mean, we could potentially provoke them into doing something. Now, even though Trump is attempting to kind of throw some olive branches out there, China is acting a little belligerent. They're saying, look, the only way that we come to the conclusion, the only way that we come to the table is if you do and correct the wrongdoings on the Chinese AI chip curve. You see, they want those AI chips. All right. And that right there goes back to the CHIPS Act, which, Trump has recently wiped his ass with, and also the tariffs that Trump has implemented on the AI chip specifically. And you see, this hurts China because they're trying to advance AI and robotics at a rapid potential because they're collectivists, and they're being slowed down because they don't have the technology that Silicon Valley still produces. But Silicon Valley is, they're waning. Their power is waning. And that's why they're bowing down to China in order for them to get access to their markets. They're bowing down to Russia to get access to their markets. So look, I'm all for the tariffs on China. Whether or not they're going to stay there, I have no idea. But it's a wait-and-see attitude with China. I am in completely agreement with fucking keeping those tariffs on those pieces of shit. The thing is, though, is that we have to have a good policy with Vietnam, Bangladesh, India, and other, Mexico, other producers that can offset what we're going to be lacking from the imports from China. And I think Trump dropped the ball on this. He dropped the ball. But instead, he decided last week to go and do business with the alleged countries that financed the 9/11 attacks, which he criticized many times, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, and he went out there and kissed their ring and fucking gave a $142 billion weapons deal to Saudi Arabia, okay? So he went out there, he decided that, hey, let's just go ahead and sell weapons to Saudi Arabia, and the reason that he's selling them weapons is because he, as I stated on the last show, and the last couple of TCR shows, Mohammed bin Salman is purposely upping the production of oil in order to have cheap oil prices and gas prices in the United States. So it benefits Trump's whatever tariff policy, whatever fucking economic policy this is. All right, so here we are. I'm not too sure if this is a good idea that we're giving $142 billion in weapons to the same country that supposedly financed and was even Trump even alluded to it, 9/11. All right, so, it is what it is. All right, but hey, that wasn't the only deal. We talked about Qatar earlier. Well, Qatar also got a deal. All right, Qatar also got a deal. A $1.2 trillion in economic and defense agreements. So not only did we have a signing of an economic agreement with Qatar, now we have a defensive pact with Qatar. And Qatar is the same country that housed the leaders of Hamas. Qatar is the same country that houses a lot of the terrorists that are sought after. This is not a good country, Qatar. It's not a good country. And now we have a military pact with these pieces of shit. I want to play this video again because it bears repeating. I want to play this video again because you people need to recognize that once upon a time, Trump didn't like these people from the Middle East and shit-talked them. And now all of a sudden, he loves them. Now all of a sudden he loves them. I'm going to play this again. I played it earlier. It bears repeating. Put the PC shot on. All right, take a look at this. Complete hypocrite. This guy on the left was Trump from 2016. The guy on the right, today's Trump.
Saudi Arabia giving $25 million, Qatar, all of these countries. These are people that kill women and treat women horribly, and yet you take their money.
Not a gift to me, it's a gift to the Department of Defense, and you should know better.
Why don't you give back the money that you've taken from certain countries that treat certain groups of people so horribly?
You should be embarrassed asking that question. They're giving us a free jet. I could say, no, don't give us. I want to pay you $1 billion or 400 million or whatever it is. Or I could say, thank you very much.
Why don't you give back the money? I think it would be a great gesture.
I thought it was a beautiful gesture. Now, there are those that say we shouldn't be accepting gifts to the Defense Department. And I would say only a stupid person would say that.
It should have never happened. And I think you owe an explanation to the American people.
We're giving to everybody else. Why wouldn't I accept a gift?
If I ever said that,
That's quid pro quo.
That's quid pro quo. All right? That was 2016. He said, look, if I ever did that, that's quid pro quo. Telling on his future self. Telling on his future self. Unbelievable. But yet you got people that are justifying this. All right? Yeah, don't worry. Hey, Qatar gave him a $450 million jet. It was a gift. So what? The United States is in a $1.2 trillion economic and defense pact with Qatar. What difference does it make? Unfucking believable. Unfucking believable. But hey, this is the American people. All right? The American people ain't saying shit. They ain't doing shit about it. They're sitting on their thumbs. And they're just, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. I don't know what the fuck. And look, the same Middle East, the same Middle East tour, he decided to embrace, which he didn't like. And by the way, I thought that Tulsi Gabbard was against this. I'm talking about Syria. All right? He will end sanctions in Syria. And I've told you, folks, the guy who is the new leader of Syria is Al-Qaeda. He is the guy that killed Baghdadi from ISIS. I mean, and then you got this guy coming out and talking Trump and saying that, this guy is a handsome-looking dude. You see this guy right here? This guy right here is the new leader of Syria. He is hardcore Al-Qaeda. There's pictures of this guy. And by the way, this is not his real name. All right? Ahmad al-Sarraj. That's not his real name. You see, that's what these fucking terrorist Muslims like to do. They like to change their names and shit. All right? If you take a look at his original name and take a look at, footage of him, this is a guy who is videotaped with heads and shit, like holding chopped off heads. And, I mean, this guy is hardcore Al-Qaeda. And remember Trump, he said, and same with Tulsi Gabbard, that they didn't like, especially Tulsi Gabbard, she didn't like what the hell was going on when it came to U.S. policy as it pertained to the country of Syria. And now you've got Trump siding with the Al-Qaeda faction that has taken over Syria at this point in time. And what does this do? It not only benefits Syria, but it's a win for Turkey, because lest we forget, Turkey has been backing up the Al-Qaeda faction that has taken over Syria. And now Turkey has its own, dare I say, satellite country in Syria, because there's a pact with them. That's why the head of Syria went to Turkey in order to solidify this pact. And now Trump is okay. We're going to lift sanctions. We're going to send them millions of dollars. I don't know if we're going to arm these people. But once again, I just don't understand. Trump was once upon a time against Al-Qaeda. And now he's embracing Al-Qaeda in Syria. So try to figure out that fucking foreign policy. I have no idea. I have no fucking idea. And speaking of which, let's talk about Israel. Now, Trump, when he made this Middle Eastern trip, he took a complete 180 on Israel, which I couldn't believe. And take a look at the Jerusalem Post. We will abandon you if war continues, Trump tells Israel. All right. U.S. President Donald Trump has been increasing pressure on Israel over recent days, an anonymous source told the Washington Post. And look, the reason is, folks, is because Trump has been an advocate for Israel, and Israel, under the tutelage of Netanyahu, has been, pushing it to the limit when it comes to their theater of combat. They've expanded it from Gaza. They expanded it from that to Lebanon. They've expanded that to parts of Syria. They've expanded that to now hit up Yemen. They've expanded that. So Trump at this point can no longer justify what the hell Israel's doing under Netanyahu. That's why in the situation in the Middle East, all right, these pacts that were signed, and let's go back to him here for a second. The Saudi Arabian situation in which we're sending them $142 billion in weapons. There was preconditions to this prior to the signing. Like a month prior to this signing, the United States urged Saudi Arabia to recognize Israel as a state, as a precondition for this potential weapons deal. And Saudi Arabia was going to do that up until Netanyahu decided to continue his theater of combat well into the offensive on Gaza. And it made it hard for a lot of these leaders in the Middle East to recognize Israel in order to get these deals, and Trump just dropped it. I mean, out of nowhere. It was a precondition, and then when he visited the Middle East, it wasn't. So that's why him abandoning Netanyahu is a big pivot from his foreign policy as he initiated it in the beginning of his administration. Now, what is Netanyahu doing? Well, Netanyahu seems to not be listening, because Netanyahu, remember when him and Netanyahu were in the White House press conference room, and you heard Trump saying, we're going to take Gaza, we're going to own it, we're going to put a Trump Tower out there, whatever the fuck he said. And Netanyahu looked like he was gut punched whenever he heard that. If you take a look at that press conference, Netanyahu looks at him like he just farted on his best yarmulke and shit right when he said that. Well, take a look at what Netanyahu's doing today. Netanyahu says that Israel is going to take over all of Gaza. All right? So here we have a complete contradiction between two messages from supposed allies. Now, I don't know what this means, but I can tell you this. It is a very big shocker to see Trump do a 180 on Israel, but I do agree that Trump could not continue to this unmitigated theater of combat that Israel seems to continue to spread. All right? You can't keep justifying this in order to maintain optics. And it's about time Trump recognized, at least in this particular policy, this particular issue, you have to have optics. You can't just unadulterated support Israel without having some kind of justified optics, and they can't. They can't. So this is where we're at this point in time with Israel. And by God, I've already been on here for an hour and 45 minutes. I really didn't even want to do this show, to be honest with you. I didn't even want to do this show. So anyway, let's go ahead and end it with some totally useless news out there. And hold on, did I miss a Buy Me a Coffee or some shit? Let me make sure I got to all the Buy Me a Coffees and Rumble rants, and then we're going to go ahead and... no, we got to all of them. All right, good. All right, let's go to some totally useless news here. And since we're on Trump, y'all remember Trump sold everything during his campaign. He sold Trump NFTs. He sold Trump Bibles. He sold Trump trading cards. He sold Trump guitars, Trump watches. Now, the Trump watch, unbelievable. Take a look at this, all right? Rump. Customers upset with the missing T in Trump-branded watch that cost $640. All right, play this shit.
I liked it because it's similar to a Rolex band.
Showing support for the president and love for his wife.
Thought it was really nice. It was beautiful. And I knew it would be something that she'd like.
A limited edition.
One of 250.
Fucking rump.
So that attracted me.
And Tim Pettit shelled out $640 for a watch that may now be even more of a one-of-a-kind than he bargained for.
Get your Trump watch right now. Go to gettrumpwatches.com. It's Trump time.
Pettit bought the watch after hearing an ad like that one on the radio.
With the president's voice, hawking the watches.
Why'd you buy it, you fat fuck?
So I went onto the website.
GetTrumpWatches.com. Pettit picked out the pink inauguration First Lady model.
It has the pink and it has little fireworks on it.
Melanie Pettit likes the style, but it's what this watch does not have that makes it stand out.
I noticed it right away. The T is missing. It just says RUMP.
So it should say Trump.
Should say Trump.
But it says rump.
It says rump.
She has a $640 rump watch.
Rump watch.
How could they process this and go through something without checking their work?
I'm very disappointed. I want it to be a special thing for her. And we had expected that it would
Man, you could have cleaned your house before this
integrity
interview, you fat ass.
The President of the United States and good follow.
Literally has tubs of shit in the background.
TrumpWatches.com site calls its products the official watches of President Trump, but in the small print, it notes that it licenses the Trump name and likeness. The site also states it has nothing to do with any political campaign, that the watches are not designed, manufactured, distributed, or sold by Donald J. Trump, the Trump Organization, or any of their respective affiliates or principals.
I think that someone needs to be aware of it in their licensing department
that
he doesn't
someone's
care,
dropped the
you
ball
dumb
big
boomer.
time.
Because we're not getting
He
any
doesn't
kind of
care.
response.
And an apology would be nice.
Apology?
For making my wife cry.
Oh, God.
All new-
Entitled American people. Do you hear this in here? Hey, I deserve an apology. I didn't ask for a rump watch. I wanted a Trump watch, and I want an apology. You made my wife cry. Get the fuck out of here, you fucking idiot. Jesus Christ. Imagine crying over a fucking imitation Rolex watch, Imagine crying for that shit. Anyway, on with more totally useless news. Did you hear about this? P. Diddy's allies are making connections with Trump team in hopes of a pardon. Now, Suge Knight came out recently. Of course, he's in jail. And he says, watch, Trump is going to pardon P. Diddy. Now, why would Trump pardon P. Diddy? Because they did business together back in New York. Remember, that's where P. Diddy's from. He's from New York. And so is Trump. There's pictures of them in the 90s shaking hands, doing deals. So, of course, it's a possibility that P. Diddy's allies actually think that it's a possibility that they may be able to pardon this son of a bitch. I don't know, man. It looks pretty bad for Diddy. It would be a horrific bad PR move if Trump even thought about this, because the allegations that are coming out about this guy are fucking disgusting. And this guy apparently got away with this, at least according to the testimony, for years. For years. When's the next Trump freak off? I don't know. You got to ask him. But I don't know. What are the odds that Trump potentially pardons P. Diddy? I think it's maybe 60% that he doesn't, 40% that he does. Because if he does, he's going to have to make a justification for it. But at the same time, people believe anything Trump says. I've already showed you the many contradictions over the past several shows and all the walkbacks, and yet these people still hold water for this guy. They still hold water for this guy. That's why I'm saying, in my opinion, I think that we're seeing the destruction of democracy, of democratic government. What I mean by that is people electing their own leaders. I think we're seeing this being destroyed as we speak in America because the American people are idiots. And look, I know I said this earlier in the show, but I'll continue to say it. A group is defined by its majority. And I know that there are a lot of hardworking American people.
They're eating the cats.
I know there's a hardworking American people out there. But by God, all right, most of the American people, and I've said this on shows, more than 60% of the American people collect a government entitlement. Back in 2000, it was less than 10% of America that collected an entitlement. So unless we rectify that contradiction, America is going to continue to be the ungrateful piece of shit, ignorant fucking community that it is. Now, how do you fix it? Well, you certainly cannot change these people. You can't change the ungratefulness. You can't change the laziness. You can't change the entitlement. You can't change this shit. So all you can do is try to replace these people with people that care about the Constitution, that care about this country. All right, that's who we need to do. I don't care what anybody says. If you're pissed off about it, well, then go out there and be productive so my words don't fucking matter. But you're not. You're a part of the group that I'm talking about. You're a part of the group that is an ungrateful entitlement recipient piece of shit that thinks that everything should be handed to you on a silver fucking platter. That is typical of America, and I can't stand that mentality anymore. I can't fucking stand it. I can't fucking stand it. I can't. No, white replacement. Look, the only reason that you people are saying, oh, here we go, white replacement. Hey, asshole, you're probably some dickless single white dude that no white chick wants to fuck. And because you have no game and because you have no fucking life, you want to blame everybody for your literal shortcomings when it comes to white bitches, that you want to go out and advocate all this stupid bullshit of white replacement, white replacement, white replacement. Hey, asshole, you don't need to go into some race war in order to rectify your so-called white replacement theory. All you've got to do is go out, fuck a white bitch, get her pregnant, 9 months later, a baby comes out, and the white race lives on. I'm sick and tired of you fucking ungrateful pieces of shit that think that you're just supposed to be giving some white bitch that is supposed to cook, clean, and do all this shit for you when you offer nothing, all right? Many of you white males in this country offer nothing. You people are infatuated with video games, which, of course, white bitches, that's not going to make their panties drop, all right? Many of you white males are effeminate. That certainly doesn't make panties drop, all right? Most of you white males have an affinity for these disgusting cartoons, anime, fucking bronies, fucking all this bullshit. Nobody is going to drop their drawers if you're going to operate as a man-child, all right? So if you're a fucking man-child and you're white, that's your fucking problem, all right? So sit there like the dickless piece of shit that you are, entertain being gay, because that's the only third party that's going to ejaculate your fucking man-child penis, you fucking stupid piece of crap, all right? I'm tired of this shit. I'm fucking tired of this shit. I'm tired of, white replacement, white this, white. Go out and bang white bitches, man. How hard is that shit? How hard is that shit? Oh, it's hard, Ghost. You know, they don't care. You know, they're going after brown people. Why do you think they're going after the so-called brown people? Because that's the last semblance of fucking any masculinity. All right? And if you don't believe me, take a look at this. This is what white males are thinking is masculine. Take a look at this. Fucking Andrew Tate. All right? All right, Andrew Tate is what white males are looking towards for masculinity. And this guy isn't even white. This guy's not even white. For fuck's sake. And by the way, Andrew Tate will be extradited to Britain. He should be. All right? Him and his brother. How anyone can look at these two pieces of shit and claim that there's some self-made, making businesses, making productive products and services, millionaires is fucking ridiculous. I'm glad they're going to be extradited to Britain. They should be fucking thrown in jail for sex trafficking, in my opinion. They're pieces of shit. And this is what white males, okay, are looking to for masculinity. Some fucking moron who manipulated a bunch of whore bags in order to, keep them in Romania. Why is he in Romania? Why is he in Romania? Because he thought Romania was going to let him get away with whatever the fuck he wanted to get away with without any repercussions. So fuck Andrew Tate. All right, fuck his brother too. Fuck both of these guys. These guys don't deserve any respect whatsoever. These are not self-made idiots. All right, they allegedly coerced a bunch of bitches to go to Romania and allegedly kept them there against their fucking will. All right, so this is what you white males out here are fucking making into millionaires. You're going to the stupid idiots. What do they call it? I forgot what he calls it. Whatever, fucking fuckboy university or whatever the fuck it's called. And what are you people getting out of it? You're not getting shit. You're giving your money to this fucking moron in order for him and his brother to fucking have fake hair and Bugattis. So give me a fucking break, all right? Give me a fucking break. I don't want to hear this white replacement bullshit anymore, all right? Just admit it, all right? You can't pull white chicks because you're dickless, because you're a man-child, because you play video games all day, because you don't do shit, you dress like shit, you look like shit, you have facial hair that looks like shit, you got fucking, you're pathetic, all right? You're pathetic. Jesus Christ. On that note, I'm going to get the fuck out of here, all right? This is why I don't like doing this fucking show, all right? This is why I don't like doing this fucking show. It pisses me off. And hold on, Cheers Drunkler hooked it up with a buy me a coffee. Imagine being a fat wheelchair-bound man, baby boomer, online for shekels. Yeah, thanks for the $5, you idiot. I didn't even ask you. I'm not even asking anybody to do shit. All right, I'm asking people to listen, and they can't even do that. These people out here that are listening to me are so poor, they can't even pay attention. All right? They can't even pay attention, these pieces of shit. So anyway, look, I'm going to get the hell out of here. This is why I can't stand doing these fucking shows anymore. Nobody fucking cares. The American people are willingly allowing the destruction of this country, and that's why we need to replace American people. I don't give a shit where they come from. I don't give a shit if they come from Europe. I don't give a shit if they come from South America. I don't give a shit. I want people that are in this country that love the Constitution and that are going to politically participate in this country appropriately and not vote for somebody because they look good with their skunk head, not vote for somebody because they have nice teeth or any of this bullshit. All right? We need people to conduct themselves in a political manner in this country that is insightful, that they know what's going on. They understand the policies. These people don't. They don't. All right? They don't. All right? Ask them when the last time fucking Kai Cenat put a finger in some fucking big fat fucking rapper's ass or some shit. They'll tell you. All right? Ask them about what's holding the great big beautiful bill. They won't tell you. They're fucking pathetic. All right, they're fucking pathetic. And all you people that are whining that, oh man, Ghost, that's anti-American. No, let me tell you something. American people are anti-American. All right, the American people are anti-American. They don't even give a shit about the Constitution. I showed you that Trump, quote, doesn't know if he should uphold the Constitution, and no American is fucking getting pissed at that. All right? Because you Americans are idiots. You Americans are idiots. All right? I've tried to tell you to wake up from this stupid fucking spell for 20 years, and you fuckers don't. Because you hate America. All right? Most of the American people hate America. And you know it. All right? By sitting there being an ignorant piece of shit, by waxing your carrot to this fucking imported anime cartoon shit, by getting your thumbs bruised on a fucking video game, by failing to fucking grow up, by living with your dickless parents, it's your fucking fault. It's your fucking fault. You don't care. You don't care about the Constitution. You don't care about the freedoms that are accorded to you by God. You don't care. Anyway, I'm going to get the fuck out of here, all right? I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm going to do a ghost show tomorrow, I think, which is completely different from this show. All right, tomorrow I do ghost show every Tuesday and Friday, 8 p.m. Central Standard U.S. time. It's basically a show where I conduct internet tomfoolery, nothing serious, because... I mean, this fucking whole dumbass country isn't even serious anymore. This whole goddamn country isn't even serious anymore. Anyway, I'm going to get the hell out of here. By the way, I'm going to be in the TCR chat, the True Capitalist Radio member chat. Put the PC shot on, all right? Go to buymeacoffee.com/GhostPolitics and become a member of the True Capitalist Radio chat. I'm going to be in there here in about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I'm going to have a smoke. Probably have a beer or something, and come kick it with us. Don't be a troll. If you're a troll, I'm going to kick you the fuck out. I'm going to kick you the fuck out. All right, this is for serious fucking people. Cheers to all the folks that are in the TCR member chat. I will be in there about 20 or 30 minutes. Cheers to each and every one of you. And like I said, the next True Capitalist Radio, if I do one, is probably going to be on Mondays. All right? True Capitalist Radio on Mondays around 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. All right. So anyway, thank you all for tuning in with me. And I know many of you may not agree with me. Maybe some of you do agree with me. Either way, this show is in hopes of provoking thought and making you understand that what these leaders are telling you, what these people are telling you, what these MAGA fucking mouthpieces are telling you is a complete fucking lie. It's a complete fucking lie. And cheers to Duke Orville with a $50 Rumble rant. And he said, thanks for the show. Cheers to Duke Orville. I hope to see you in the TCR chat here later this evening. Cheers to you, Duke. And thank you very much for chilling with us on this Monday. Cheers to you, all right? Anyway, thank you all for tuning in with me. As I stated, if I do another True Capitalist Radio, it's going to be on Mondays. And, of course, Ghost Show every Tuesday and Friday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Anyway, thank you all for tuning in with me. I'm out of here. Woo!